everyone, welcome back to another vlog. I don't know where to begin with this one. I'll admit I wanted to plan this a bit more and then I realized I couldn't plan it, like not in the slightest. Also, by the way, yes, Odie's in the bed. I keep making it and then he just goes and unmakes it. He's so cute. Anyway, so I've been wanting to do this for a while. I just wanted to pick a good week to do it. As the end of last week was coming up, I was kind of starting to chicken out a bit because it felt like a very daunting task. I've decided to continue on and just do it. My husband is away this week. For anyone who doesn't know, by the way, I'm married to half of Trilogy Media. The only reason I say this is because I've been noticing some comments on some of my videos with Ashton of people saying like, wait, doesn't this guy do scam baiting? Like, so what's he doing here? So I think most of you who watch regularly are aware of the fact that I'm married to Ashton from Trilogy Media. But some of you clearly have no idea and you're like, why is he here? Yeah, we're married. So, and that's our dog. So he's basically gone on this big, like he's actually flying, he's there now to do this big massive scam baiting collab, which is really cool. I tuned into Scammer Payback's live stream this morning very briefly, and he was kind of, you know, showing the setup of the people's call center. So they're literally setting up their own anti-scam call center and they're fighting back. Amazing, so proud. Anyways, so while he's gone for the whole week, I'm going to throw myself into writing music, as well as all the other things I have to do. So my original plan was to like just do nothing but write music for like a whole week, or at least 5 days, like an entire work week. The closer I've gotten to it, the more I've realized is that I can't quite drop everything, and as much as I would like to, and just focus on writing music for the entire week. There's a few other things that need my attention this week. So instead, what I've decided to do is, instead of just doing nothing but writing, I'm going to have a writing session of a few hours every day this week. Probably won't vlog the entire thing because this will be an hour-long video. So I have been wanting to write music probably my whole life, honestly, or my whole adult/teenage life. It's something I've tried over the years, done bits and pieces, but never really had anything solid that I could, like, you know, play for people. I've always kind of just contributed to other things, like other people's songs, or if I've been in a band, like I've just kind of done my part, but not really written a song of my own. I'll have maybe written a guitar part for someone else's song, or, you know, stuff like that, which it's something I really enjoy doing. I just haven't, I feel like if I say I haven't had the time, that's just an excuse, and it is, honestly. It's a very daunting thing for me. I am a serial procrastinator. I do put things off. I do build things up in my mind, even good things. Like this is not a scary thing at all, to sit down in a room by myself with a computer and a bunch of instruments and try and figure something out. I can think of a lot of worse things to do than that. I've had a little bit of a mental block when it comes to actually doing it. One of my goals with this channel, I would love to, at least, we'll say, the first like major stepping stone for me. Obviously, you know, I have bigger goals that stretch much longer into the future, but one of my, we'll say, I don't know, we could say the 5-year plan, the 3-year plan, the 2-year plan, I don't know, I can't even put a time on this, and I don't have to, which is great, but I would love to write an EP. I would love to have, at least as a starting point, I would love to have 4 or 5 songs that are completely and utterly made by me, everything that's come out of my brain, basically, at least to start off, is just a short collection of songs that are mine, that belong to me, made by me, that can be distributed on Spotify, Apple Music, streamed, maybe even, hell, vinyls and CDs. Do people do that anymore? I don't know. Just to have songs that I'm proud of. And I can say, yeah, I put a little drop in that ocean of music that's out there for people to consume. I'll be very grateful to anyone who consumes it, even if it's one person that's not my mum. So with all that being said, I keep putting it off. Still, I also just have a lot going on in my life too, and I don't want that to be an excuse. And I have lots of drafts, I have lots of files. Even now I'm looking at my computer screen, and I have like 6 or 7 different files of all different songs that I've started and not even remotely close to finishing. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to look at first. I think I just need to do it. And if it's a video, then I will make time for it, because I make time for everything else that I have to do. And this is the one thing that I'm like, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week, I'll do it when I have time. And I'm just getting sick of days and weeks and months going by and nothing gets accomplished. And I'm like, this is something I want to do, but yet I'm not making time for it, and it's driving me crazy. As stupid as this may sound to some people, if I make it into a video project, I might actually get where I need to go, or where I want to go. That might sound ridiculous to some people, but you know what? I think it's gonna work for me. At least I'm gonna try it. This will, even if I don't end up using this footage, if I'm documenting the whole process, this could be boring as hell, by the way. This could be a boring video. There's a couple of songs where I actually have a verse and a chorus written already, but do I like them? That's the thing. I also don't want to get people's hopes up by thinking that you're gonna watch an entire fully completed song by the end of this video, because I can't promise that. I can't promise that to myself. I can't promise that to you. I could be cryptic as crap in this video and say like, I'm hopefully at least, oh, I have this verse and oh, I have this chorus and I really like it, blah, blah, blah. But by the way, you can't hear it yet. I just want to put that out there, that just because I'm making this video, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm ready for you to have a song to listen to yet. I think this is a learning curve for me, and me figuring out what the sound I want to make is. In certain cover songs that I do, I'm like, oh yeah, that's my sound. Like my version of that cover song. I'm like, I think that's my sound. But when I've started to write my own stuff, it feels like when I sing them back to myself, it feels like they're for someone else. I made it, but does it sound like me? Also, I'm terrified of like accidental plagiarism. That's been a huge thing as well. I know sometimes we can't avoid it. Everything's been used. And by the way, no one owns a 1/6 minor 4/5 chord progression. Like no one owns that. I get 2 in my head when I see all these like lawsuits and you know. Anyways, I think I'm overthinking this at this point. I need to just write from the heart, as cheesy as that sounds. A quote I always think about, which is something I heard Bryan Adams say like years ago. If anyone doesn't know, Bryan Adams is like my top of the list artist who's my absolute favorite. Like, I know I love John Mayer and he's right up there too, but like Bryan Adams is like the reason I picked up the guitar in the first place when I was the summer that I turned 14. He said that writing songs is like turning on a tap that either has never been turned on or has not been turned on in a long time, that when you first turn it on, all like the gunk and the dirty water kind of spits out first. Then after a while, the clean water starts to flow. And he said that's what it's like writing songs. Everything you write in the beginning when you first start writing, it's like you're getting rid of all the crappy stuff at the beginning, all the dirty stuff that no one wants. But then after a while, you start writing good stuff. I'm gonna take your word for it, Brian. I think this is my problem too, is that I'm already getting very self-judgmental. So I need to just get into it, and it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what I come up with today, whether that's nothing. Could be nothing. I might not get anywhere today, and that's fine. I just need to do it. Okay, I'm gonna dive in. Here we go. In an open tuning, picked open D. There's other tunings I would like to try as well, but I want this one to have an Irish feel, and I want like the drone effect of the lower E string. Sounds like Yankee Doodle, or whatever that is. Anyway. Alright, I'm going to plug in my guitar and I'm going to see if I can record some kind of a structure so that I can try and add lyrics to even get a couple of lines of what I want the chorus to sound like. I've been playing around with some stuff for about a half hour. I feel like it sounds okay as I'm doing it, but when I listen to it back, I'm like, no. I may come out of the open tuning for now because I don't think that's getting me anywhere. I think the open tuning is throwing me off a little bit. I feel like it's getting the sound I want, kind of, but it's also not at all. Also, the people outside have decided to have a flipping circus on the street while I'm doing this. I'm playing around with some Irish sounding, no, even just like Irish melodies that I know. I'm just kind of playing around with those kind of things. Just like that kind of thing. Playing around with that kind of sound. Irish music is quite modal and it's quite melodic and sequential, so I'm trying to keep those things in mind while I'm writing this melody. I wouldn't consider myself an Irish style singer by any means, but I'm trying to implement those flavors a little bit. Okay, so it's been like an hour. I came up with something completely different to what I had originally. I like it a bit more, but it still feels so underdeveloped to me. I know this just needs time. I feel so disheartened right now. Save and close. Part of me wants to stop right now and just go do something else, but I think I'm gonna push it a little bit, at least maybe try another hour on a different song. I'm not saying that I thought this would be easy in any capacity, but I just feel like, first of all, I feel like this is not internet worthy. It just feels impossible today. Maybe I'm just not wanting to be vulnerable today, and I feel like that's okay. Maybe I'll move on to a song with a happier subject for a little bit and see if I get anything. I'm also trying not to do the self-judging thing, which is quite tricky. Ugh, it's utter shite. Oh god, this is gonna be a depressing video that I don't want people to watch. Why did I think this was a good idea for a video? It's not a good idea for a video. Okay, so I am at a pretty good stopping point for today. So it's been another, I'd say, hour and a half. So I changed songs. I moved to something else, something a lot more upbeat and a lot happier. And I think I just wrote an entire song. Hello, do you think you're ready for some dinner? I think it's time. Are you hungry? Do you want food? Aww. I love when he sticks his legs out sideways, it's so cute. And I think I wrote almost a full song. I don't want to say what it is yet. It's happy, it's more upbeat. It's exactly what I wanted it to sound like. And I'm like in a totally different place to where I was an hour and a half ago. You sniffing the guitar stand? Oh. It's more of a song, like a personal experience, but like a happy thing from memory. I wanted the lyrics to be a little sad, but the music to be happy. So it's like happy, but if you actually read into the lyrics, it's kind of like, aww. That's exactly what I wanted, and it perfectly reflects that time when these events were going down. It was a happy, sad time. I suppose bittersweet would be a good way to put it. I'm loving how this sounds so far, and that's just with voice and acoustic. I'm already like ticking in my brain like what I could add with the piano and what I could add with the electric guitar and what the bass line's gonna sound like, and maybe even drums. I'm really happy. It was a rough start, but I got going, I persevered, and I'm actually delighted with how this first writing day turns out. Day one of writing complete, and I have filmed so much today, so I don't know how I'm gonna do 5 days of this and condense it all into one video that's not gonna be like ages long that people will not be interested in watching. I'm well aware of that. Day one in the bag, see you tomorrow. I don't know what that means, but see you tomorrow. Hey everyone, so upon reviewing the footage that I took on Monday, I have so much footage. Yeah, basically I stopped vlogging the writing on Monday, number one because I had so much footage, and I don't think a week of filming that process is just realistic, because it's going to be like 5 hours of footage. Impossible to condense in one video. So I may just make this one video and just say that, hey, I've started to write again. I'm just going to keep working on what I'm doing, and I know I need to make more time for this. So, you know, at least if I film it, it does help me with, you know, a bit of motivation and a bit of accountability too. So before I wrap up this video, I wanted to share something with you. That evening, that Monday evening that I wrapped up the writing session, I kind of went off and had some downtime and got some fresh air and, you know, walked the dog, made some food, just kind of relaxed and got away from the screens and everything. I saw something on Facebook, speaking of getting away from screens, I saw something on Facebook that I'm glad I read that day, which is very rare because there's just so much crap on Facebook. It was posted by the Legacy of John Williams Facebook page. So I'm just going to read you what the caption is, and it was like exactly what I needed to read in that moment. It's a quote from John Williams Lets His Muses Carry Him Along by James C. McKinley Jr., Art Beats 2011. I developed from a very early on habit of writing something every day, good or bad. There are good days and there are less good days, but I do a certain amount of pages, it seems to me, before I can feel like the day has been completely served. When I'm working on a film, of course, it's a 6-day-a-week affair. When I'm not working on films, I always like to devote myself to some piece, some musical project that gives me a feeling that maybe I'm contributing in some small way, or maybe more importantly, learning in the process. I work early in the morning. I never work at night. I was never one of those midnight oil composers. I would always stop in the early evening. I never experienced anything like a block. For me, if I'm ever blocked, or if I feel like I don't quite know where to go the next turn, the best thing for me is to keep writing, to write something. It could be nonsense, but it will project me into the next phase of thinking. And I think if we ourselves as writers get out of the way and let the flow happen and not get uptight about it, so to speak, the muses will carry us along. The wonderful thing about music is that it never seems to be exhausted. Every little idea germinates another one. Things are constantly transforming themselves in musical terms, so that the few notes we have, 7, 8, or 12 notes, can be morphed into endless variations, and it's never quite over. So I think the idea of a block is something that we need to work through. I needed to read that, especially that particular day. It's not about writing what's good or bad, it's about just writing. Even if nothing comes of it, at least you might learn something, and that's really important. The song that I wrote, I don't know what its future holds. I could scrap it, I could keep working on it, which I intend to keep working on it, but it might be nothing, and it might be something. I don't know what the answer is yet, so if anyone's like disappointed that they want to hear what I've written, I'm not ready to share it yet. Maybe one day soon it'll be done and I can share it with you, and when that day comes, I'll be very excited. Nervous, but very excited. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too boring and just a whole load of nonsense. Let me know if you write music in the comments, if you have any tips for me, or share your experience of writing music. Do you agree with the John Williams quote? I'd love to know. Thank you so much for watching. Links in the description if you want to check out merch, Patreon, gaming. Please like the video. Don't forget to subscribe, because there's still a lot of you not subscribed. Please subscribe. Please double check that you're subscribed if you're watching regularly. See you in the next one. Bye.